can't remember the last time I've run in a Mizuno shoe, let alone try one on, but this guy right here is something different and something definitely new from Mizuno. I've done a handful of runs in it. I'm ready to give you my first impressions of the Mizuno Wave Rebellion Pro. A quick disclaimer though, that I did buy these shoes with my own money, so like all my videos, it's my own opinions and nothing's influencing it. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the specs. So the stack height on this is debatable, but it is approved by World Athletics at 40 millimeters in the heel and 35.5 in the forefoot, which gives it a 4.5 millimeter heel to toe drop. The weight comes in at a lightweight 7.4 ounces. It costs $250, and I put this in the plated racer category. So let's go ahead and see what's new in the shoe overview. The upper uses a very breathable engineered mesh. It has a gusseted tongue and a very minimal heel counter and very minimal padding as well. The midsole has an upper layer of Mizuno NRZ Lite Plus and a bottom layer of NRZ Lite Regular. In between is a carbon-infused nylon wave plate. So both these foams are PIBA based, but the upper one seems to be like a supercritical or nitrogen-infused PIBA foam, and the bottom layer is more of a regular PIBA. The outsole uses G3 rubber with a good amount of coverage. Let's talk about the fit of this shoe. I find that this shoe runs a little small, so normally I'm a size 12 in almost every shoe I get. This one I got a size 12.5, so I went half a size up, and it fits great now. So I think in the past, Mizuno shoes have tended to run smaller, and I think that's still true with this shoe, so you might want to go half or full size up. If you can try one on and run in it before you buy it, that would be ideal. Let's go ahead and talk about the ride of this shoe. So it has this super unique geometry where it has like a really early rocker where it's like super intense in the heel, so it's almost impossible to heel strike. And if you do land further back, it's gonna rock you onto your forefoot. And from there, I'd say the forefoot rocker is more mellow, kind of what you'd see on most rockered carbon-plated racing shoes nowadays. As for the foam itself, I thought that it kind of felt like a mixture of the Lightstrike Pro from the Adios Pro 2 and the Power Run PB from the Endorphin Pro 3. So it's kind of like having a top layer of Lightstrike Pro, bottom layer of Power Run PB, and I really liked it. It was still soft and bouncy, but it was still firm enough to give you a nice responsive pop. I don't think the plate did a ton with that. I didn't feel kind of like that really just throw you off your toes like you get from some other plates, but I did find that it added a lot of good stability in it. In the arch here, it's a little more built up, so I thought that overall the ride was pretty stable, but maybe not the springiest toe off, but that unique geometry definitely helped with that smooth heel to toe transition. So the upper was also super comfortable. Like I mentioned, it's very minimal, but it never got in the way, kept me locked down good enough. And then the outsole, I was surprised, it's actually really grippy and kind of reminds me of the outsole that was on the RC Elite V1. And even when I was running on gravel and dirt, it gripped really well. So nice to see that on a lightweight racing shoe. So overall, I'd say that this has a very unique ride with that exaggerated rocker where it's pretty thin in the heel, to be honest. And then under the midfoot here, it's really thick. I think it's like over 40 ounces. It's 55 ounces. That's why the stack height's kind of weird, because when you measure it back here, it's 40, but up here it's 55, and then it's kind of like a really big heel to toe drop. But anyways, like I mentioned, unique geometry to give you a really fast turnover, and then that combination of foams makes it feel really nice. I think I like what they did with these two foams. Alright, so I compared it to a couple shoes already, but let's dive into that, into full comparisons. First up is the Adios Pro 2. Like I mentioned, that top layer kind of feels like the Lightstrike Pro in this shoe, but the Lightstrike Pro is definitely softer. Both shoes kind of have that weird cutout on the sides. This one honestly kind of feels more like the Prime X, that 50mm shoes, than it does the Adios Pro 2. But I think the toe off on these two is both pretty similar. They both can have those not purely carbon and not like a regular carbon plate. and so they provide kind of that same amount of propulsion where it's not super like the most snappy. So if you liked this shoe but wanted something maybe a little more underfoot and have a more aggressive rocker, then you would probably like the Wave Rebellion Pro. Next up is the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3, and I think that these midsoles feel a lot more similar, kind of have that bouncy but still a little bit firmer ride to them. This one I would say is a little snappier on toe off. It does have like a regular carbon plate in there, but again, this rocker and the amount of foam underfoot on this shoe is just super unique. And finally, the Alphafly Next Percent 2. So both of these shoes do feel like you have a lot more underfoot than some of the others. So I'd say they're both those, high cushion, max cushion carbon plated racers. You don't have that intense early geometry on the Alphafly like you do on this shoe, but you do have those unique air pods that gives you that super unique trampoline feel from the Alphafly that you can't replicate with just foam alone on this shoe. So I think if you want super cushion but still 40 millimeters, these are the two to go. If you want something with a really exaggerated rocker, probably this shoe. If you want that unique trampoline feel, then go with the Alphafly. So Mizuno is late to the super foam plated marathon racing shoe game, but instead of rushing it and making a Vaporfly clone, they took their time, came up with some good foam compounds and a really unique geometry, and I give them kudos for that. I think I'd rather wait and see a truly unique shoe than just copy and paste and throw something out there. So I think I've said it enough in this video. This shoe's rocker is going to be what sets it apart from a lot of the other shoes, and the amount of foam underfoot, it just feels like there's a lot under there. I think it's definitely an interesting shoe to check out. I don't think it's going to be everybody's favorite. I don't think it's the snappiest. It does really help with that turnover, but I don't know, just a unique shoe, and I think you have to try it out for yourself and see if you like it or not. I will be putting more miles on it to give you my full review. Subscribe so you don't miss that, and as always, keep on running.